Hello everyone and welcome to Leimomitv series where I share amazing tips on your soul, and today I wanted to talk about how to completely reinvent yourself in 6 months and the reasons why you want to do that now in this year, because now we are starting a new year. So when you want to become your best self in the next 6 months in summer, you'll be much in a better place than you are now. So if you're listening in or you're listening into the replay, you can put hashtag replay below. Let me know where you're listening from, and I would love to chat with you here if you want to share with me your insights or what kind of tips that you got out of what I'm sharing today. So today I want to talk about how to completely reinvent yourself in 6 months. And number one, the first thing that you actually want to do is really identify and know really clearly what you want. So when you're clear about who you want to be and what that means for you, and know what is your destination of who you are being, what you want for you will make it so much easier than where you're going next. So you want to ask yourself what you want to be, and what does that person dress like, what does that person do every single day, what type of books does this person read, what time do they wake up in the morning, what kind of jewelry or type of jewelry that they put on, and what do they wear on a daily basis, what do they eat, how do they show up in the world. Like, all of these things are like super important if you really are looking towards like really creating a new life, a new version of yourself. So 2024, I believe, is like where you really are burning down everything. It's actually the year of the dragon. So this is a time when you really want to step into this newer version of yourself, of living your best life. So these kind of questions of like, what type of energy do you give off? You want to ask yourself, because before you can really reinvent yourself, you have to really identify what that means for you, and you have to be very specific in how specifically what you are trying to change. Because when you know that, then the second step would be like shifting into your identity. So this is important more than just creating habits. It's more about not only about creating new habits or new behaviors. That's important, but your identity is actually everything. So seeing yourself as the person right now, shifting your behaviors, then slowly over time you will be able to shift into a state where it feels less painful and not as slow. If you're changing habits, it's kind of what it feels like. It's kind of like a very slow process. So you want to focus on your identity, then the habits and behaviors. So this is where you can create like an alter ego. So for example, like how I reinvented myself by calling myself Leimomitv instead of my original name, which is Janelle. And that completely changed the trajectory of my path. Like, it really opened up a whole new version of myself that I didn't know that existed. And then the old version of myself died, and the new version just became who I was. So a lot of like people like Kobe Bryant, his alter ego was Black Mamba. Michael Jordan also had his own alter ego, which made him very successful version of himself as an athlete. Beyonce has like Sasha Fierce, which is her alter ego. Marilyn Monroe was actually also her alter ego, and her original name is Norma Jean. So creating this very like successful version of yourself can be really helpful if you really want to not change your whole name, but you really want to step into this newer version of yourself. And sometimes like changing your name can be very helpful in this case. So what the reason you want to change either your name or just think of yourself differently this way, it helps you to move really past old stories, so past blocks and habits. As when you created a new story identity for yourself, then you have your alter ego, and whatever happened to you in the past actually doesn't exist anymore, because you are your alter ego. So it didn't happen because it didn't happen anymore. It happened to someone else. It doesn't make sense for you to hold yourself back anymore, right? So it helps you to move past any blocks that you have in your life, helps you get outside of your comfort zone, because most people don't change because they keep being themselves that are very comfortable, and they don't allow themselves to really grow and evolve through that discomfort, because the discomfort is actually really important to really have that new identity. You can step into someone more confident when you be your alter ego. You can step into someone who may be afraid to do something, but your alter ego isn't. You can visualize the person that you want to become, so you can start to really help you to believe that you can actually do and be who you want to be, that you can achieve what you really want to achieve. And so being your alter ego, once you lose that belief in yourself, and you lose everything, then being your alter ego is one of the best way to really help to restore your new belief in yourself again. So what happens is this becomes more easier and natural to you, and it creates a quicker change in yourself. And when you're really aware of what you know, what it looks like and what it feels like to be that person, it's easy for you to really, then the third step, like clean and purge and let go of the things that are keeping you stuck, and letting go of the things that are like draining you, like letting go of the things that aren't really allowing you to become this new version of yourself, right? So this is when you want to go through any of your clutter, donate your old clothes, get rid of the things that really don't align to things that you're stepping into, who you would like to be, this new version of you, who are you actually following. It's really important to know. Go through your email box and unsubscribe to all of those things that are clogging up your inbox, and anything that's energetically draining you. Clean your car, clean your pantry, like let go of like anything that seems to be holding you back from yourself. And so you can really create room to be energetically attracting, what you want, and to step into that new identity. So creating this fresh new start for yourself. The fourth thing you want to do is really show up as that version of you, right? Your alter ego. So already you have that vision of who that person is, so now you need to show up as that person. So be that person, right? So tap into that identity. How would that alter ego act? How would they be carrying themselves? What would they be focusing on? Knowing what are they usually wearing, how are they spending their downtime, what kind of podcasts or trainings that they're listening to. Ask yourself what would be your alter ego to be doing in this sort of situation, because it helps you to see things more objectively. So this manifestation, acting as if, is how you can really shift yourself faster. The fifth thing that you want to do is become more aware of your languaging. So be careful about the way you talk to yourself, to others. And for example, like if you say that someone asks you if you want a cigarette, you say, I don't smoke, right? Instead of saying I don't smoke, you can say, no thanks, I'm not a smoker. So then you become like the version of like you're a non-smoker, if that's an issue for you that you do smoke. So pay attention to how you talk to yourself in your mind too. So you want to harness your identity of the person you want to be. Then 6 is you want to create consistency. So if you want to reinvent yourself, you need to be more consistent, and not just for a day, but really for your whole life, basically. And you're not doing it from being perfect at all. It's about showing up and trying every single day, despite you may have fallen off the bandwagon, right? So you want to show up trying every day, and being that person. And because it's not a short-term thing, it's a long-term thing, right? It's meant for you to have that long-term success. And even if it gets hard, you know that you keep doing it, you keep showing up for it, and you keep trying. And because if you keep trying to do it perfectly, it's going to more likely, you will fail at it, and you stop showing up again consistently. So you want to show up on a daily basis. You will always mess up. You always self-sabotage. And you always have some kind of resistance. And so 6 months is a really good time to help you to create that long-term consistency, but also because the long-term consistency that you create from this time period can be a massive transformation for you. So you want to give yourself enough time to retrain your brain to do it in a sense where it can create that massive change, but it's also very doable for you. And number 7 is when you find that you are resisting and the resistance hits, it's usually caused by your own self-sabotage. And so this is where you want to get really get the most out of it and really have your alter ego step in, because it's a very effective way so that you can get out of your own way and become more someone new, the newer version of yourself. So know that having this resistance is normal, and it's a part of the change, and that you're not failing, that you're just experiencing, you're not going to give up. It's a part of the process. So if you work with that process, then your mind can solidify the identity that you're trying to become. And if you give up too easily, then your mind will further believe that and solidify that you're staying exactly the same. So this is where you want to work with your subconscious and start thinking and changing differently. Thinking of to think differently. Then you would dig into yourself in a deeper way. And you always want to remind yourself of the parts of the process that you're going through and trying to get past, because it's very likely that you have many moments of self-sabotage. So take a second, reflect on it, and then number 7, then this is where you develop self-awareness. You are having this self-sabotage. To ask yourself why you may be self-sabotaging all the work of success that you've been creating. And then when you know why, this is how you can easily remove and move past it. So these are really important on how you can completely reinvent yourself in the next 6 months. So this is actually a very possible way that you can achieve this. It's just it takes a lot more carefully planning and committing to it and creating consistent action around it. So the first thing, again, you want to do is clarify your vision and your goals, reflect on your values, take time to identify the core values of what truly matters in your life and define that vision, and then envision the person that you want to become and the life that you want to live in the next 6 months from now. And then start setting smart goals and break the vision down into specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound kind of goals that will take you there. The second thing that you want to do is develop a plan of action. So identify areas of change. So determine which aspects of your life that you want to reinvent, such as your career, your relationships, your health, your personal growth, and then create some kind of roadmap. So outline the steps and the milestones that you need to achieve to reach those goals within the next 6 months. Prioritize those tasks, break them down into more actionable tasks, and prioritize them based on the importance and urgency to you. And then number 3, you want to really cultivate a growth mindset. So this is where you want to embrace the change and be open to stepping outside of your comfort zone and embracing these new opportunities for growth, and learn from your setbacks. So view challenges and setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow rather than it being obstacles. You want to practice self-compassion, be kind to yourself, celebrate your progress no matter how small it is. 4, then you want to invest in your personal development. So this is where you want to have continuous learning, commit to learning and acquiring new skills to align with the goals and of your interests. Seek support, so surround yourself with other mentors and coaches and supportive peers who are there to give you guidance and accountability. This is where you want to also explore any kind of self-discovery, engage in practices for example, journaling or meditation or some kind of therapy that helps you to get more deeper insights about yourself and all of your motivations. You also Then 5, you want to actually take, again, action consistently. So daily habits, establish daily routines and habits that really support your goals, such as exercise, reading, or visualization is important. Accountability is important. So hold yourself accountable to take consistent action towards your goals, and get the feedback in order to change your circumstances. So you adapt and adjust as you go. And track your progress regularly, so it really helps you to really see where you're going and whether you're on track or not. Number 6 is you really want to celebrate all of those milestones and really reflect and celebrate the progress, and acknowledge and celebrate each milestone that you achieve along the way. So no matter how small, again, reflect on the journey, take time to reflect on your progress, like learn the lessons, know what are the areas that you need to further grow into. Then you can course correct, right? So use those reflections to kind of give you a refined approach to the next phase of your journey. And so when you stay committed to your vision, then you can really start to reinvent yourself within the next 6 months. And so remember that transformation really takes time and effort. So be patient with yourself and trust the process with dedication and perseverance. And then this will create more of a life that you desire, and you become more of the person that you're aspired to be. And so the way that I see this is like you're going to be stepping into that version of you who are living your best life, who are having, money that's flowing in while they're in your sleep, or passive income, or all these things that you're desiring is going to come into fruition the more you're stepping to that identity of being that person first. So I want you to really do this kind of homework. It's like really journal, get clear on all of them, this version of yourself. And if you have to invent your alter ego to get you there, then for sure try it, because it really does help. Like the version of me before I change into my alter ego to be Leimomitv, which is really my middle name. It's still me, but it's my middle name. The version of me of being successful, being a mother, about being a traveler, about schooling, unschooling our kids, to being successful business owner and a mother and a wife, and figuring out all those things that are necessary to grow into. Like I had to learn all of that by being a different alter ego, which was to be Leimomitv. So that's a really good example of how you can shift and change. And when you're moving into from the multiple 6 figures to the 7-figure mark, this is where you really, really need to learn the tools of shifting your identity. So this is kind of what we work on in my Soul Aligned Mastermind, and this is where you get more accountability and more help around how to really embody this millionaire version of yourself, and really owning who you are and owning your presence as not just on your multiple 6-figure earner, but you're already there and you're about to really claim your place as being a 7-figure earner, and it's your time, and it's time to raise your rates, and it's time to bring in way more cash. It's time to be seen more by more people, to actually have a business of creating from the dreamiest place of your life, and you really go for those bigger dreams. So this is where I have group calls, one-on-one sessions, and Telegram chat, and I have about 5 spots to get started. So if you're really craving to be with a coach in a group environment that you are at the same level, and you want to mastermind where the conversation is where you normalize 6-figure months, then you want to celebrate your wins and declaring these new levels that you get to claim that it is your time, and you want to see your greatness and be accountable, and you're owning it. Then you definitely want to join my Soul Aligned Mastermind, because this is 6 months with me. So we'll literally identify all the things that we're needing to shift into, and then I'm helping you to really bring in the cash and put it in the flow, to put in the most soul aligned way that's very, very aligned for your type of soul type. And so if you really want to claim your spot and want to message me, you can DM me to get all the full details, but it's $18K investment to get started. So and I have an application process for that. So if you really want that, you can apply. And I also have my mentorship and my membership, So if you're going to join my 6-month mastermind, you also during that time will have access to my membership and my mentorship content. So this is where you can develop yourself in terms of being a multidimensional healer or soul alignment practitioner in the advanced level, or create your own healing modality in that way, or you can learn some of my other courses or programs, like how to create your own vision boards and your own photo shoots like that. This, which is actually one of the things that I did this past month. You'll get access to those kind of courses that I launch throughout the year during the time frame that we're working together. You'll have access to that as well. So you're not only getting calls, you're not only getting help in the group setting, but you're also removing a lot of the resistance towards where you want to go, which is towards your 7-figure income plus here from there. So if this is really resonating with you, you can feel free to put a heart emoji below, or just DM me that you really want to get started in the mastermind, or you want to know more details around that. I have my mentorship, my membership, which is $97 per month, or $9.99 for the whole year, or my mentorship, which is $555 or $5K for the year. If you want to again get all of that and go deeper with me, then you definitely want to go into my mastermind. And we'll all work on your soul alignment. We'll work on your messaging. We'll work on your sales. We'll work on all the things that needs to get back into alignment, and help you to identify the version of yourself that you need to become, and then hold you accountable to having that success and having the version of yourself that becomes full version in the next 6 months. So if that really resonates with you, feel free to reach out to me, and we'll get started. So all right, you guys all have a beautiful day. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you on the internet. Have a beautiful day. Aloha.